Welcome to the Builder's Corner. This week at the shop, I worked on 1.5 builds and I did 4 safety inspections. It was a good week. I'm getting into a routine and I'm also establishing my confidence in repair skills. On Friday, I stayed behind at the shop with a group of mechanics to work on some personal projects. I took full advantage of that shop time. There was work that I needed to get done on the racer that I wanted to do but needed a stand for. So whenever time presents itself, I'm on it. I was able to replace the rear brake cable and housing on the racer. I was also able to true both the wheels, which I'll get into more detail a little later on in the video. But for now, let's head on over to the shop. Welcome to the Cruiser Racer channel. I'm Rebel Lion of the Electron Rebels, and this is my creative space. I call it the Builder's Corner. The Builder's Corner is the home for electric bike enthusiasts. And in this space, we're always on the hunt for the perfect canvas. A canvas for me is a bike frame. Nothing excites me more than turning something old into something new. So if this appeals to you and you like what we like too, then subscribe to this channel. Here in the Builder's Corner, you'll learn about bike mechanics and DIY custom e-bike builds. Now, let's get to the show. This Raleigh Mojave needed all new gear and brake cable housing, and also needed to true the front and rear wheel. It seems I finally picked a good bike out of the scrap pile. The tires and wheels are in good shape and the paint is still fairly polished. This is a quick build. For me, that means a day and a half, but that will change with time. All right, I started working on a bike yesterday and there was quite a few things that needed to be changed. Starting with Alright, first thing I noticed to be changed was the gear shifting cables. The first gear shifting cable was rotted. It was rusted and frayed down here at the end. Here's the new cable. Here's the line. And this was on the front, on the right and left. Also replaced this line. That's the one that goes to the front derailleur. So these things are already set. So I'm a little lost as to what needs to be done from yesterday. Let's see. I adjusted the headset. Did this one. So now I need to tighten the rear brake pad or the rear brakes. And true this tire. I am still working on the motive. And the part that I'm currently working on are the cantilever brakes. My God, I hate these brakes. So far, I've replaced the brakes, pads, cables, and housing, and it seems now that I will need to replace the levers. The original brakes were stamped metal, the cheapest quality of brakes on the market. And the levers are plastic, which are not functioning well when the brakes are compressed. I chose to work on this bike because of the cantilevers. These brakes are my enemy, and I need to learn how to conquer them. So far, the enemy is at the gate and it is winning. I'm going to take the weekend and get back at this with a fresh mind next week. We interrupt this program for a word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is Cruiser Racer. Cruiser Racer is more than just a channel on YouTube. It is an entire platform based on electric bike building and enthusiasm. The first way you can help support this channel is by liking this video and subscribing. And if you'd like to go a little further, check out our store on Teesprings. In the store, you'll find eye-popping and authentic designs from the Cruiser Racer line and the Electron Rebels. This is a great way to support this entire platform and help us grow. So head on over to the store and check out our designs today. Now back to the show. These are some of the bikes that I worked on this week. These bikes are for our adult bike giveaway. And my job was to safety check them all and then put on the lock and the bag. This here is a bike that I built this week. This one is another Motive. This bike was in decent shape as well. It didn't need much. It was a quick build. The only thing I struggled with was the cantilever brakes, which is why I chose this bike to get more practice on cantilevers. On Friday, I had a chance to work on the Racer. The Racer was having issues with the rear brakes squealing when they're compressed or when I'm stopping. And it was so bad, the noise was so terrible that I was avoiding using the rear brakes altogether. I consulted 3 mechanics about the issue. The first suggestion was to clean the wheel and the brake pads with rubbing alcohol. I tried that several times with no relief. The second suggestion was to change the brakes and the pads. The pads did need to be replaced because the rubber filling was gone and they felt like a hard rock. The recommended replacement for the pads were to get the salmon color pads because they're of high quality. So I went ahead and got a used but very good quality set of brakes and some new salmon pads. But that did little to stop the squealing. The third suggestion was to change the housing from coil to compression. The most common brake housing is the coil, but in some cases the coil housing caused the brake cables to vibrate when the brakes are applied, and the vibration in the cable or in the housing is what's causing the brakes to squeal. The compression housing muffles the vibration and now the brakes no longer squeal. After I fixed the brake issue, I took some time to true the wheels. With the hub motor, I was able to true right on the frame. I just used a zip tie as my point and I spent about 40 minutes truing that wheel until it was good. The front wheel, on the other hand, completely different story. I was able to take that wheel off of the frame and put into the stand to true, and I spent at least 2 hours truing that wheel. After about 30 minutes trying to balance that wheel and it not balancing properly, a coworker pointed out to me that the hub was loose. So I pulled out the stand and I tightened up the hub and then had to spend the rest of the time undoing the mess that I made trying to balance it out before and then fixing the original problem. My goodness, it was a mess. But what came out of that 3-hour wheel truing session? Confidence and skill. I can now say comfortably that I can true a wheel in and out of a stand with complete efficiency. And with that, I can say that this week was a huge success. I learned how to true wheels and adjust derailleurs with extreme confidence. And it feels really good to have accomplished those goals for the week. I'm a lion, and the show is where I roam. I'm a lion, trying to feed the algorithm. Help a lion, feed my e-bike addiction. Just like and subscribe so I can build more bikes, and I will document it all for you. Thank you. You're so kind. That's all I have for the Builder's Corner this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching me learn and build bikes, please show me by fingering the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. New content is posted twice a week on Monday and Friday. Thank you for supporting this channel. I'll see you on the next video. Be safe out there and ride easy.